Welcome to Hustle System. My name is Mikhail, and I help people master their mindset, build a better business, and help you live your life on your terms. In this video, we're going to talk about how to unwire social conditioning and put you back at the seat of power in your own life. It's going to be an extremely powerful video. We're going to dig right on in. Before we do, please subscribe to the channel if you have not yet done so. Subscribe button is right there. And if you have subscribed but have not yet clicked the notification bell, please do that so you can be notified when I upload more amazing videos. I do this for you guys. I do this with love. I take my time that I don't get back and I put it in these vids from lessons I've learned in my life to try and make your life a better place. How to unwire social conditioning. Okay, the autopilot mind of humanity is becoming almost like Big Brother. Okay, we are becoming autonomous machines that are moving forward in a machine-like, factory-like fashion towards our death. We are born. There is a process. We go to our little school sequence, then we go to our little job sequence, then we go to our little retirement sequence, and then we go to our little death sequence. It's like a 5-step process to living a miserable, pathetic, unfulfilling life. And it is stuffed and reinforced by things that we're supposed to be grateful for, supposed to be happy for, supposed to celebrate, that trigger biological dopamine and stuff the true purpose of what it means to be human and what it means to exist, what it means to make an impact, and what it means to make a difference. And those of us that are truly brave and powerful enough to step out of that are then ridiculed, mocked, put down, but the rare few are admired. Okay? And that's why this video is so important. How to unwire social conditioning. Social conditioning is that 5-step system. It is designed to keep you timid, to keep you complacent, and to keep you from messing things up. Okay? Because if we didn't have this system, things would be getting crazy, right? If everybody was living their purpose, we'd have like jetpacks, and it would be too difficult to control. So that speed versus control element that I talk about really applies here, where you have to understand from the moment that you exist, there is external forces that are trying to control your behavior. And if you are able to unwire and unleash and untap from those forces, you are able to start crafting your own destiny outside of the influence of those forces. And that freaks people out, but it's also extremely powerful and actually extremely beneficial to the state of humanity. Because if you really were to take a look at the greatest inventions of all time or the greatest points of impact of all time, those were not created in a vacuum. They were created as a result of a synergistic system and a synergistic process that occurred from somebody going outside of the boundary, stepping out of their comfort zone, putting themselves under the gun and saying, okay, fine, ridicule me, mock me, make fun of me, I don't care. This mission is important enough for me that I'm gonna put my life on the line. And that's what I want you to do today, is to ask yourself, what is that thing that you will be remembered for? When you are dead, when you are gone, what is it that people say? How big is that mission? Is it, hey, he was a nice guy? Or is it something bigger? Is it, hey, he really worked to make a difference? Hey, he really made a difference. And what is that difference? Is it something small, like raising an amazing person as a son or a child? Not that that's a small thing, but I mean, in relative scope. Or is it something as small as bringing a smile to one person's face? Or is it as big as curing cancer or something huge? And you have to ask yourself, what is it? Really sit there with me here for a moment, because life wants you to get distracted. Life wants you to keep scurrying along and close videos like this, and to stop thinking about these things and to not take the time. Life wants to give you the illusion, social conditioning wants to give you the illusion, guys, that you don't have the time to do these things. But it's false. The capitalistic system of money generated in order to impose pressure on your time constraints is a false constraint. It's not a realistic constraint, because at the end of the day, you don't get to take any of that money with you anyway. So just keep that in mind, okay? You don't get to take the money with you. Pause with me for a moment and ask yourself, what is that big thing? What is it? Do you even know? Or are you so busy trying to pay the bills and please your boss and do whatever these things are? Okay, that's why the social conditioning is so important. Are you so busy recovering from going out to the bar or doing that thing, again, that dopamine trigger? The dopamine trigger is the hook. It's the thing that gets the fish on the hook. If we're a fish in the ocean, the thing that gets the fish on the hook for us is the dopamine, right? It's the desire for sex, the desire for these dopamine triggers, sugar, right? Look at sugar, drugs, media, all dopamine triggers, right? Meant to get us on the hook, get you on the hook, and then they go whoop, here you go, social conditioning, boom, and then you're popped in the bucket. You're in the bucket with everybody else, and it's very, very hard to get out of the bucket once you are in. That's why in this video we're going to talk about how to unwire this thing. So this is the first step, is to lock in on that dream. And if it doesn't freak you out, it's probably not it. You probably need to dig deeper. And if you were to stop apologizing for your existence, if you were to start owning it and owning your power and dialing into your power and accepting your power and channeling it, what would that dream look like? Would you fix the water crisis? Would you create a massive breakthrough in biology or biotech? Would you create fairer use of particular substances? Would you help animals? Would you help plants? Would you help other humans? What would this look like? What is it? And it's scary. It should be very, very scary because it's unattainable. Or so you think. What you have to understand is the perception of unattainability is also an illusion, because let's say you want to make a difference in the lives of other people. Well, you can start today by making a difference in the life of one person. And social conditioning wants you to believe you don't matter, that you can't make a difference. Right? That's why the self-development movement's so huge right now, because we're getting to a population saturation point on the planet where we have to do something. And these systems, because we've trusted these systems for so long, we realize that, hey, if we keep trusting these systems, they're going to break everything. We're not going to have an Earth. It won't exist. It will. Here's the reality. Okay, here's the reality of the current situation. Okay, that's going to happen if we don't step into our power and we don't unwire from this thing. The capitalistic system will continue abusing environmental resources until the point where there are no more environmental resources left. At that point, we will offset the temperature gauge on the planet, which is possible we've already done, in addition to critical species going extinct that are responsible for our survival. Then we will only have humans left in the vacuum, and humans, due to our consumptive tendencies, will outconsume the available resources that we have on Earth. And the first resource to go will not be food. The first resource to go will actually be water. And once we run out of water, there will be a massive global war around water. That will be the Fourth World War. And whatever that looks like in the aftermath is what we'll have left. Okay, so that's just the reality. Now, what's the alternative? The alternative is we have people such as yourselves tap into their internal power, step into their dynamic, and rather than just wishing, rather than going for the secret, rather than just always trying to attract, actually taking that idea of attraction, saying, I want this dream. I view this planet 300 years from now as a beautiful, amazing place to exist. And I need to plant those seeds. I need to water those seeds. And I need to protect that little piece of land from getting influenced by all of these other factors. And if we have enough people doing that, what we'll start creating is a reversal movement, right? It's just like in jiu-jitsu, if somebody tries to sweep you, you can do a reverse sweep. We need to reverse sweep the current capitalistic, socially conditioned norm to be pro-planet. It needs to be pro-Earth, because we are on Earth. Without Earth, we don't exist. And I think the sooner that we can rewire that into global consciousness, the sooner we can realize that, hey, technology is a part of it. Technology is a part of the solution. With technology, we can amplify plant growth. With technology, we can cleanse CO2. With technology, we can create new water solutions that never existed before, new medical solutions that never existed before. But the consumeristic nature of current society, it has to go. And look at the plastic landfills, look at all these things. And this is just the reality of why I had to create this video, because if you are tapped into the system, that's again the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 step system. You are born, you go to school, you go to work, you go to retirement, then you die. If you're plugged in that system, you're going to be on the treadmill. for the rest of your life. And there's a pretty good chance your kids will be on that treadmill and so on and so forth, unless somebody finds some sort of content and that content makes a big enough impact for them to actually do something. Because after you watch this video, here's the difference. You might understand it, but the question is, will you do something about it? Will you actually say, you know what, wow, that thing I thought about really scares me, really freaks me out. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for the jump shot. I'm gonna go for the three-pointer. I'm gonna go for the Hail Mary home run on this one. And you might fail. In fact, the majority of you doing this might fail. But man, that one person that succeeds, right? We're looking at the Elon Musks of the world, the Steve Jobs of the world, the Bill Gates of the world. If they hadn't, imagine this world without all of these great inventions, right? No phone. Imagine no phone at all. Imagine no Graham Bell. Imagine no phone. We can't call each other. Imagine no internet. Imagine no cars. Imagine no roads. Imagine no plumbing. Imagine no electricity. Right? So all these things, but it has to be pro-planet, because what we've created now is we've created a consumeristic culture as a result of the Industrial Revolution. Now we're going into the information age, and what's cool with information is it spreads quickly. We have better access to education and to tools and resources than ever before, but to properly apply those things, you have to unplug from the social conditioning and stop going for the hook of dopamine. Stop going for the new show or the new gadget or the new thing, and ask yourself, what matters? What matters with the time that I have? What am I going to do with the time I have left? And it doesn't matter how young you are. You might think, I have all the time, and no. What are you going to do with the time you have left? And as soon as you start to define that, everything else falls away, because you start to define your own destiny. You put yourself in the driver's seat of your own life, of your own path, and you can move forward and take your life where it needs to go. So, as always, this has been Mikhail with Hustle System. I hope people master the mindset, build a better business. I help you live your life on your terms. In this video, we talked about how to unplug from social conditioning. Very important video. I appreciate you taking the time to watch it. Comment down below if you have any ideas for things we could do better. And yeah, just know that you watching, I appreciate you. I love you. And I'll see you in the next video.